Hello everyone and welcome back to Disc Golf Examiner. Today we are at Schenley Park in Pittsburgh, PA for the 2021 Pittsburgh Flying Disc Ice Bowl presented by Grip It and Rip It Disc Golf. And of course, while we were here, I ended up taking that video at a very historic spot right with the course designers here in 1988. 30 years later, we took the same photo with them in the same spot. Joining me today on commentary, we have Andrew Greenslade and Mark Prestopnik. Guys, how's it going?
How you doing?
Pretty good, Brian. Thanks for having us.
Man, I am so excited because the Ice Bowl was one of the first tournaments that I ever played in, Mark. We talked about this before. This is an event that raises money for the Greater Pittsburgh Community Food Bank. Can you tell us a little bit about the number of people that participated and the number of the amount of money that was raised?
Yeah, Brian, it was a hugely successful event. We had 241 disc golfers played around this year, and we raised $8,547.13 for the Greater Pittsburgh Community Food Bank. So it was tremendous success, and thanks everyone who was a part of this.
So we're going to start things off on hole one. It's a par 3, 261 feet. Pretty open shot, wouldn't you say, Andrew?
Yeah, it's pretty much you pick it. You have your hyzer, you're straight at it, or you can go forehand hyzer. We had a bit of a tailwind. I believe you just said we had about 18 miles per hour blowing behind us. So that did add some difficulty to the hole, but overall, it's take your putter or your mid-range and just try and drop it right on the pin.
And you're going to see Mark here giving that a great run.
Oh, right over the top.
You see the shadow just pass right over it. Very close. And you're going to see we got ourselves a special card here today. We kind of got ourselves a feature card of some of the better players here in Pittsburgh. Always glad to have these guys around. Tom is here. We haven't actually seen before. He's actually a professional ultimate player. Along with Mark Fedorenko. And Mark last year had great success. He said, hey, my buddy Tom plays a mean round of Schenley Disc Golf, and Dan even giving it a good run there.
Yeah, I was going to say the earlier shot would have been good for the C-pin up on the hill there.
Yeah, you can see he parked it right up there. That's the harder pin to get to, honestly.
Yeah, we were finding the tailwind was just pushing everything very straight. So I think I had tried a stock hyzer earlier that had just pushed right up into those pine trees. So you had to make some adjustments.
Vince Mock would say this is about a 20-foot putt, but it looks to me to be about 35 to 40.
Oh, that was out. I was to say 45. Not quite 20.
Yeah, and you
the
can
wind
just
was
see
just
the wind. Yeah. Rosier here at Circle's Edge.
Boom.
Great birdie.
Rosier's got a great touch. He fires it in there, so I think he can stay underneath the wind on a lot of holes.
Yeah, he's always going to go for it. What's the worst that can happen, right? Mark with a great putt there to save par. Let's get it, Dan. Great birdie.
Feels good to start out with a 2 in any event, but especially when the weather is kind of iffy.
And especially this hole, I mean, you get on the tee and you're looking right at it without a lot of obstruction. So this is really one that you do want to get starting off because it feels good. It feels great to start your round with that 2, but it also definitely stings a little bit when you start off with a 3 or a 4.
And we're moving on to hole 2, which is a par 3, 536 feet. wide open shot. There is some OB behind the basket with the road there. And today, actually, we're going to have to deal with sled riders because we do have a lot of snow on the ground.
Yeah, and during the Ice Bowl, this actually rated as the highest scoring hole by participants. The average was about 4.25, so it played very difficult.
Wow.
It was rather long in the C-pin as well.
It's not surprising. I know for our card, we had a headwind coming right up the hill. So you're trying to throw downhill, trying to get maximum distance without rolling something over into the road.
And Dan with a rip.
Heiser out a bit, but yeah, that's still a very good throw.
Anything down there in the bottom of the hill is a good position to be in for your second shot.
I want to give a special shout out to Bryan Bowman for doing the T-cam for this event. Oh, no.
But you're right, Andrew. You really want to stay down there. The danger is flipping it over and going OB right, and then you really make a mess out of this hole.
Yeah. You can see I rolled mine in that wind, but it was bad enough that I didn't have to worry about any OB. It's just going to be a long second shot. Mark's down that ideal landing zone, too.
And Tom with a monster rip there.
Yeah, he's
wow.
got a lot of power in that throw there. You can see that he's coming out of that ultimate background.
Yeah, that's probably at least 430 feet there.
My second shot felt like it was about 430 feet from the basket. I'm way up the hill here still. I might be behind the red pin, I think. I'm throwing a 2018 Sexton Firebird.
That's a solid up from there.
I got a little tree love. That helped, too.
And you got to be careful with that OB behind the basket, too. You guys all have longer arms. You have to really just play it lightly there. You can see the disc just dancing through the ice.
Yeah, some of these up shots, again, with the wind, they wanted to float. And it doesn't take too much extra glide on your up shot for that OB to suddenly come into play, Brian.
Absolutely. Oh, no, we're going to see here with Dan.
Oh.
Just OB. Rosier's a lot closer than I thought he was there. With a very easy up shot, he'll have a putt. And Tom, Heiser out a little early. Let's see if he can make this for par. Of course. Oh, no. Unfortunate. And of course, there's Dan getting his disc from OB. Beautiful putt, unfortunately, for the bogey.
That was a good putt. I'm trying to rack my memory to remember what mold Dan was actually using this day for his putters. It could be any of a laundry list of different molds.
Whatever feels good that day. And this is, like Mark said, it averaged above par, almost more than a stroke above par, right?
Yeah, the average was 4.25. So, we play all the holes. They're all par threes, so that's significantly higher than par. So
out of 256 people, wow.
Yep.
And Mark in for par. And we're going to move along to hole 3. It's a par 3, of course. This entire course is. It is 205 feet. Schenley is one of the most interesting, popular courses in PA. We've seen it rank very high on UDisc. I think it's second place right now for popularity. Oftentimes people will come to Pittsburgh and they ask what courses to play. If they're looking for something easy to play that's kind of out near the airport, Schenley it is.
Oof. I had the same thing happened on my shot. I got no ground action, but you really can't depend on that in this type of weather.
Andrew, get that skip. Oh,
Yep.
you're going to have a long putt there.
With the ground so walked on, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, almost everybody was throwing some kind of zone. I threw a mortar, harp, something overstable, maybe like a gator. And you're just looking for it to you throw it out there to the right of the trees and let it swing back on the basket. Normally, you get that ground play, skipping back over to the pin. But today, everybody was just sticking and sitting right about circle's edge.
You know, that is exactly how it happened in my round as well.
And, you know, you don't really want to fly it in there at the basket, and then you risk going OB. So it's kind of pick your poison there.
Absolutely. And the OB on this hole is treacherous because you go down that steep hill to the road, then you go out of bounds. So any comeback putt is going to be especially difficult.
And Rosier ran it true to the way he plays.
What's the worst that could happen?
Yeah, right. All right. Tom looks like he's going to play up to the bat. Oh, no, it's going to slide. The ice around the basket caused it to slide further away.
Yeah, with some of these pins, you would get, if you're outside the circle, there was snow. But once you would get up near the basket where everybody was walking to get their discs, it got trampled down and we had ice around the pins. So you might hit and stick like we did outside the circle, but then your putts were sliding. If you were close to the pin, you'd skip. It made the ground play it was a lot of guesswork to know what your disc was going to do once it got to the basket.
Yeah, especially with that extra spin you guys get on it. You just see them dancing after they land. And Andrew with a beautiful birdie. Wow.
That feel good, Andrew, right?
That definitely felt good. You're staring at the OB. For me, I had gone par to start. So to get a little bit of momentum rolling here, I needed that.
And Matt gave it a good run coming back. Unfortunately, he's going to have left himself with a tester putt. Oh, Mark a little low there. I know Mark was having some trouble with his footing that day in a lot of places because of this ice and snow. Let's see if Tom can get his par. There he is.
That's a good putt. Yeah, you definitely have to take your time when you're playing the snow. It's a whole it changes the game up a good bit. I know for my putting, I was taking my time to really dig my feet in, make sure you have a good push.
And that was a chain out pro side.
Jeez.
So Matt's going to take a triple bogey, unfortunately, there. Wanted to make sure that his disc stuck that time. As we move on to hole 4, it's a par 3, 195 feet. Shortest hole on the course, I believe, right, Mark?
That's true. And it also scored as the easiest hole during the Ice Bowl, averaging a 2.74. So a lot of people birdied it. I was not one of them who birdied it, sadly.
Oh, no.
There's that skip I was talking about. I threw a recon, a frontline X mortar for that shot. And just looking for it to not skip that much on the ground. And we have to give a shout out to Gary Smith, who helped bring that scoring average down with the ace that he hit on this hole.
Yeah, shout out to Gary. Great shot, Gary. Wish you got it on video.
Uh-oh.
Oh, he's going to get caught on the hill there, luckily. Mark with a beautiful shot up towards the basket. He'll have an easy putt from there.
It's an easy shot if you don't overthink it.
Ooh. And Dan, for his look, just at the circle's edge there.
Oh.
And Rosier knows he has to make up for the last hole, grabbing a great birdie there.
That's a good comeback after that last hole for him.
Absolutely.
And Andrew, you want to continue your streak, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Andrew.
Boom. Great putt.
So, how's it feel? You're on hole 4. You have the lead here, Andrew.
No, it's early, and especially at this point, I can't say I was even aware of who was where really. But for me, it felt good to go back to back just because you want to get these early holes, you want to get those birdies. So starting off even after 2, I knew I would need to get going quick because you expect other people to be scoring in these first couple holes of the course.
So we're going to move on to hole 5. Once again, par 3, 332 feet. And it plays along this hillside. It is one of the more difficult courses, holes on the course. I believe you're going to see a lot of snow and ice here, as the day that I shot this video, it was very muddy.
Yeah, Brian, I was just going to say that this actually rated as the second most difficult hole during the Ice Bowl for the players, coming in at about an average of 3.7. So, yeah, it played difficult this weekend.
You know, I believe it. There's not very many people who can get a disc there, but Andrew's going to try over the top. Oh, get a good roll.
It ended up being a good placement shot. I was bummed. I've put that disc in the circle before. I should have gone with my pink Firebird I have in my bag rather than that yellow monster. But I like that shot. It moves the backhand. It slopes with the green, whereas I know I can get the thumber over the trees, and it's coming back against the hillside, so I feel like I'm more likely to get the stick instead of getting a slide on the snow.
And Matt is going to get down there. He's going to have a long look at it. And Dan? Oh, no. Didn't quite flip it enough. He's going to be down behind the bush down there. He's going to be in a rough way. We affectionately call that bush down there the bogey bush.
It does an incredible job of taking inside the circle putts and making them nearly impossible.
And, Tom's going to go a little long there down the hill. That ice you can just see, and the snow. I like the hoodie there, Andrew.
Yeah, I was gifted that right before the round. Shout out to Camber Disc Golf Company for hooking me up with some really great apparel for this season.
And Mark has a downhill putt here. Oh, he's going to go long now. Oh,
This is a scary one to run in the snow. It's a scary putt to run in general, but.
And of course, Matt is going to run it.
Not for road.
Great birdie. Wow. And Dan's going to have that bush to contend with here. I think he's going to go for a roller, it looks like. Try to get up to the basket there.
Oh, he turned around and told us he was about to try the roller, and we were all like, all right, have at it. And then he did it.
That's great execution.
Yeah. Let's see if Tom can grab his par here. You got to keep in mind, these people don't have their footing. Oh, and just a little high there. Oh, no. Mark's right side. And Andrew, for your par. Oh.
That was another it's been sticking in my head since I missed that one last weekend. So, but again, the footing, I think if looking back on the round, I feel like I probably should have gone to a straddle in that instance so that I could actually get some push. It's tough if you can't get your back foot dug in and actually drive the disc into the basket. You'll see people miss short putts like that when they don't have good footing. That's a common, especially with newer players. A little tip: make sure you get that back foot dug in so that you can actually use your legs to putt as opposed to just arming it.
And hole 6 is a par 3, 241 feet. It's uphill, plays way longer than 241 feet. I've never been able to touch the basket.
It's a good shot. It's a technical line. You need something that's going to flip up and go very straight, or a little bit of a turnover, and then not hyzer out at the very end of the flight. Matt throws it almost perfectly.
Wow, straight at it, really.
Yeah, for Matt, that's a standard shot, I think, distance-wise.
There is also a hyzer line out over 18's pad. I don't think anybody on this card takes that, but it is another option to attack this pin. I'm throwing a DX rock. I just early release it.
And Mark with a good rip there. He's going to find a sneaky line, and he is within putting distance. It's probably 25 to 30 there. Oh, it looks like Tom's going to catch a tree, and he'll have to settle for an upshot.
It's a tough drive to hit some of these. You're hitting late gaps. You're not hitting gaps right off the tee. So, you have to anticipate what the flight of your disc is going to do. I had a big bush in front of me, so I'm just going with a little tomahawk to get up close. And we see the downside of throwing upside down shots onto ice.
Yeah.
That thing, it slid probably 35 feet. I think we watched it for a good 10 seconds, just slowly slide down the hill. But what are you going to do?
Dan, he'll have an easy putt from there. Great upshot. And Tom looks like he's going to give this a good run straight at it, I think. Oh. And I guess technically Mark has the out there, so. Oh, no. Left side that time.
He didn't look comfortable with the putt there.
It's complete ice.
It's completely ice. And this goes back to what I was saying earlier about it's tough to hit these putts when you can't push into them.
Yeah.
And you can see me trying to dig my back foot in to get some kind of energy into the disc.
Oh. Now you'll come back for your...
Probably equally as far. Just the other direction.
You can see people up on hole 17 behind them.
Yeah, Schenley's a tightly laid out track, which makes it nice. Like Bryan was saying earlier, if you have a chance to visit Pittsburgh and you don't have a lot of time, you're in Pittsburgh, I want to play some disc golf, this is easily a course that, barring backups or anything like that, you can play around and at normal pace, just over an hour. I think I've played rounds by myself in 50 minutes. You can move through it quick. You can get a nice round of disc golf in with that nice, stunning view of Pittsburgh skyline. It's a staple of Pittsburgh disc golf.
And we're going to see here in the score, it looks like you and Rosier kind of flip-flop places there, leaving him with the lead currently. As we move on to hole 7, par 3 again, 165 feet. It plays up this hill and kind of over to the right. Behind this tree, you got to play down the hill a little bit too. So definitely an interesting hole. Definitely one of the more difficult on the course.
Yeah, I think most people want to take a forehand approach to that. I know that's not part of Rosier's game,
Now he threw a judge there. So that was amazing to see a putter land up there. Dan's going to catch an early tree, unfortunately. That's really the hard part about this particular hole, is getting through those 2 trees there. And Mark's going to do it expertly. It's going to be a little high up on the hill, though. I think he landed a little shorter than he wanted. And Tom sneaking through the trees, getting a good skip and a roll, coming at me.
Ooh.
He got the tree there. I believe that was the Berg he threw.
I'm throwing a Firebird. I think everyone's throwing something pretty similar.
And that is a saucy line. Oh, I just went a little long. Wow.
Yeah, I think somebody called ace out of my hand, and just not quite.
They had to jinx it. Mark going to the kneeling. Unfortunately, hit the 1 tree he had to beat. Oh, just a little high there for Dan. He's up. Sit down. And Andrew, you have an interesting try for a putt here. You really don't have much getting through those branches.
No, lots of little twigs. I had to go to a kneeling Annie, try and hit a gap and hope for the best.
Oh,
It's pretty disheartening when you get up there sometimes after you think you have a great drive and you see your disc about 30 feet away.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it was.
That happens more often than you'd think on that hole.
Yeah, especially with that downhill slope. Oh, no.
Oh.
Oh, boy. That is frustrating.
Yeah, and I know for me too, in the winter, I'm not playing as much. The disc doesn't feel as good in my hands. So the foot, like you said, Andrew, the footing, it's just a confluence of factors that make putting so difficult.
It changes up a lot, and not the putting we're seeing on camera, but even just throwing, being able to trust you can put your feet in the ground and generate power. It definitely changes your game completely.
I mean, even just there, being close downhill, you're leaning downhill with ice, makes it very tough. As we move on to hole 8, another par 3, 214 feet. Plays down the hill. You have mandatories that we just passed there on either side of the red tee, and you have to make your way down the hill. The parking lot is OB. Basket is close to that OB. For my guess, this is one of the hardest holes on the course, Mark.
Yeah, during the Ice Bowl, ranked as the 3rd most difficult hole.
Wow.
With the average being 3.5.
I have literally seen some of the best players play this hole and get an 8. This is just one of those holes that is tougher. It can be really tough on you.
Yeah, if you don't hit that line and you're not clearing straight as you cross the access road and you kick a tree, you can sometimes end up with a weird line to get to the baskets to try to save your par. So,
and even the ideal shot, you saw pretty much everybody other than Dan trying to throw that turning putter. But you get your putter a little high and turning, and it's very easy if you pure the line to glide right over the basket and find the OB. I could not get my footing for this shot.
And looks like you did pretty good there.
Just trusting my zone, throw it flat and let it go straight.
Dan will be down there as well.
I believe that's also his jawbreaker zone. You see him throw a lot for approaches.
Rosier just needs to hyzer that nice and easy to the basket. Okay. He was close to the OB, but it looks like he was stopped by the rocks there.
Thomas with a long, dangerous putt.
Should have a nice, easy putt coming back. Mark here, probably at about 60 feet downhill. OB behind it, and wow! Just nailing the putt.
This was good to see. Mark was getting a little frustrated with his putting. So to see him just confidently cash this was good to see him get a little momentum rolling.
Did he do a little jump kick there?
Yes, he did. That's his signature. Anytime he gets a long putt, he skips in.
Ah.
We've seen him have a tremendous year last year. It was his first year competing in disc golf because the Ultimate season was canceled. So, had to have him on this round of the Ice Bowl for sure. Looks like they're going to give Rosier a little leniency there. I don't know. He has a long straddle, but you can't really see grass down there. So
he claimed you could see him and I were joking. I was giving him grief about did that back foot get up. He claimed that back foot was off before his putt came out. So all you internet trolls, get to the video and
pause
go
it
to the replay and let us know if it was a legal putt or not.
So hole 9 is 203 feet. It's uphill, highly wooded. Definitely a very guarded shot here off the tee. A lot of people have trouble getting through this gap here.
Yeah, this is a common play. You're going to see a flex forehand with something. I think Mark's trying to throw a berg.
Yeah, I think so. Ooh, and Rosier going to get two kicks to the right. I've been over there more times than I can count. And it looks like Tom's going to play that same line that Mark did, and he's going to get up there.
Of course, if it's a flex forehand line, that probably means I'm throwing a thumber. I'm throwing my get freaky zone here.
And oh my gosh, wow. Yeah, that'll be a long putt, but you got it. And oh, Dan. So close. Oh no. Looks like he just got that a little bit more than he wanted to, and he's gonna have a long putt there. Oh, Rosier with a good run. Still spinning.
Watching Matt throw his pures is always fun when you're out on the disc golf course. He has such good control of that putter.
Mark with a long look at it, and maybe 3 inches low.
Yeah, he's at that point where you can tell he's just a little off, but he's starting to find it. He's drawing metal from distance. It's not going to be too long here before he.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what's going through my head at this point.
And Andrew, for your birdie. And to tie it up with Rosier going into the back 9. Beautiful birdie. Got to see that again. Oh, yeah. Love a good chain crash.
Yeah, it felt good. Just good confident stroke. Put it on the pole. That's what you're looking for anytime you're inside the circle. Thomas with the good par cleanup.
So there we have our front 9 coverage. We have Andrew and Matt tied at 1 under. going into the back nine. Pretty exciting. Andrew, anything you got to say about the front nine?
I think what you're starting to see is that this ice bowl is living up to its name. It's definitely a challenge playing in the elements. I think now that we're about halfway through, the players, we're starting to get a feel for the little adjustments we have to make with putting, throwing, etc. Based on the elements that we're dealing with.
And you're dealing with quality players that I have seen come back and crush tournaments in the past year. So definitely it's a lot closer than it looks. Schenley giveth and Schenley can taketh away. Mark, anything you have to say before we move on?
Yeah, I think to Andrew's point, you come out and you're used to playing Schenley in the spring and the summer, and it really, you have to adjust your mindset. So I think seeing these players come out, play the front nine, I think they'll be in a better position to kind of attack the back nine with a little level of comfort at this point.
So join us for the back nine coverage coming at you very soon. All you have to do is click the link in the description or on your screen here. Remember to like us on Facebook, subscribe to us on YouTube, and share this video, guys. That's how we grow the sport. So that's going to do it for us. And until next week, keep banging those chains.